Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Lionel here. Hey, I just uploaded a video on YouTube and it said it was unknown and blocked it, and I had no clue where it went. So, with that said, let me get into this. So, a guy was generous enough to send me a bunch of fragrances, and I'm not talking about samples. He sent me maybe 5 to 8 meals of, maybe 8 to 10 meals of a bunch of different things. The first one was Boys 1920, right? The classic. Very nice fragrance. I think it could be a perfect signature fragrance. I don't know if I would pay retail Boys, Sushi Imperial prices for it, but nice fragrance nonetheless. The next one was Rose Anemie. I guess that's how we pronounce it. I don't know how to pronounce this one. Rose Anemie. Can anybody help me? Anyway, with that, I don't know what it is. I don't know how to pronounce that one. So that was the second fragrance he sent me. But what I want to talk about today is what he sent me, and it is called Vetiver Fatal. Now, let me give you who sent this. My man Seanscoop out of Houston, Texas, the Pearland area, sent me just a bunch of different fragrances. And let me tell you this, I really appreciate it because I didn't ask him for anything. He just said, hey man, I got something I really think you would like. And he ended up sending me, again, maybe 30 meals, 25 meals worth of fragrances. And I really appreciate you, Sean, man. He just did it out of the generosity of his heart. And that's one thing I really enjoy about this community is that everybody just seems to be so generous. And I really hope to pay it forward. I hope that I can compensate you. He wouldn't even let me compensate him. So shout to you, Sean, man. I really appreciate it. And as I said, I do have a little time. I do got to get up early. But I wanted to give this video out because I'm very ecstatic. I'm very excited about this one. So Vetiver Fatal. Let me tell you the notes real quick, and you can look this up. This comes from the house of Atelier. I don't know if you guys really know much about Atelier, but it is a fragrance house that sort of sells bigger bottles, and it's called Cologne Absolute. So it's sort of in between an EDC and a EDT. But a lot of times these things perform much like a lot of the EDTs that I smell, but sort of has really good natural aroma, sort of like an EDC would have. A lot of the EDCs that I've encountered for some reason just smell more natural to my nose. Maybe they can just pull back on a lot of synthetics that give it the EDT weight. So anyway, with that said, Vetiver Fatal. Here's the notes. It doesn't really have top base, so I'll just kind of give you what they have listed here on Fragrantica. It is bergamot, lemon, Sicilian lemon. We have, I think we have bitter orange. We have orange blossom, violet leaf. Then we have plum, vetiver cedar, and oud. Now, real quick, let's just isolate oud and let's isolate violet. I don't smell much of any violet, and I don't smell any oud whatsoever. So let's annihilate those. Let's take them off the list, and let's see what we really have. What we have in the opening is this beautiful citrus opening, and I really think it's more of the bergamot more than anything else. I just get that sharpness of the bergamot, and I really think some of the orange blossom and maybe the bitter orange is just giving it supporting, supporting notes to the citrus, but really don't stand out on their own. I really get this nice bergamot opening, and it is one of the most natural citrus openings. Now, I own Bois Blanc, and I've owned there's one more of these Ateliers that I own. Anyway, Bois Blanc is what I wear mostly, and I had a 10 ml decant of maybe Truffle Pure or one of those other ones that I just got rid of. Needless to say, I'm left with I have Bois Blanc, and I've yet to swap it, give it away, or even offer it. Somebody tried to buy some from me, and I said absolutely not. It is one of the most beautiful fragrances in my collection. But with that said, Vetiver Fatal has come along, and it has really knocked off Bois Blanc by far from my most favorite Atelier. Not to mention, it is called Vetiver Fatal, and I really think it's competing for my favorite vetiver. And I am a lover of Guerlain Vetiver. I think Guerlain's Vetiver is one of the most classy fragrances, and it is in my top 5 to 10 fragrances. But Vetiver Fatal is so good that it can actually compete with this. Now, here's the difference. Sorry about that. Guerlain's Vetiver is much more classy, much more robust, much more corporate, while Vetiver Fatal is a little bit more playful. Let me tell you why. There's this plum note that really makes it, it sort of gives you a Vetiver Tonka vibe. Now, Vetiver Tonka's Vetiver may be a bit heavier, but I'll tell you what, if you're a fan of Vetiver Tonka and is just turned off by its price point, I really think you should get your nose on Vetiver Fatal. I really think it can compete, and it can compete with, and if you think Guerlain's Vetiver is just too rooty, too Vetiver, too spicy, I think Vetiver Fatal would come along and really give you that Vetiver in your collection that you're looking for. So it's sort of a in between, you know, it's playful, it's on the playful side, but not playful, because I really think this could be a beautiful scent for a wedding. I think it can be for either sex, actually. I think a couple who was getting married could wear this fragrance to their wedding and it would smell beautiful. I'm talking about an outside wedding at the beach. I'm talking about an inside wedding. I mean, I just think, I mean, I would just adore this fragrance on a woman. However, it has enough strength and has enough going on for it, masculinity, to be perfect for a man. I think this is a beautiful office scent. When I'm talking about beautiful, spring, summer office scent, this could be your go-to every single day. Date, beautiful. Movie, beautiful. Dinner, beautiful. Meeting your girlfriend's parents for the first day, beautiful. It is that type of fragrance. Well, I think people may take you too serious with not Guerlain's Vetiver, I'm sorry, Tom Ford's Vetiver. So it's scratch Guerlain's Vetiver, and I'm talking about Tom Ford's Vetiver. Well, I think people may take you too serious here. I think Vetiver Tonka, I think Vetiver Fatal would be that Vetiver that you needed to, you know, somebody look at you and be like, wow, you smell wonderful. Like, it is such a beautiful aroma. I don't know what else to say to it. I mean, it's just one of the best composed fragrances that I've encountered. And let me tell you this, if you're a splitter and you're looking for something to split, if you're confused about anything to split this spring, summer, please jump on Vetiver Fatal. It is just I don't know how else to say it outside of I'm blown away by its beauty. I mean, it is such a well-constructed fragrance. And I really think it's better than Vetiver Tonka. I just really do. And I think it's sexier than Tom Ford's Great Vetiver. So, you know, it's sort of in between those two, and I think for the price, it blows everything out of the water. So, Tom Ford's Great Vetiver. When you see me do my next top 10 for the summer, I promise you, Vetiver Fatal will be fighting for a top spot because it is that good. So, again, just let me explain it real quick. You spray it on, and there's just this beautiful citrus, right? And it is just gorgeous. And then immediately this plum comes in, and the vetiver starts. So you get this sort of tad bit woody, spicy vetiver note that's mixing with this plum. And the plum is very sweet, very robust, very natural. And then there's this citrus giving it this, you know, kind of giving it the tanginess, right? And they're just mixing together, and it is just a beautiful marriage. It is well constructed. The framework is beautiful. And I tell you what, it is really more of a plum vetiver fragrance with the spicy support, or with this tangy support coming from the citrus, giving it just this overall freshness. So the plum sort of gives it a sweetness and a little depth, and the vetiver comes and gives it, the sharp, woody, masculine vibe, and the citrus comes along and just bounces it up, gives it a little airiness, a little aromatic vibe, due to the citrus notes. The longevity, and I don't know if you've encountered any of Atelier's other fragrances, but this is the best of all the longevities from a projection perspective. Now, Bois Blanc lasts most of the day on me, but I think the vetiver in this kind of is giving it a little more projection, and the longevity just seems to be a bit better for it. So I would say this is probably a 6 to 8 hour fragrance, really. Projecting pretty good for the first 4 hours, getting a little close to the skin after that. But I think, it gives a romantic sillage up to about 8 hours. And I mean, I can still sense it now on me, and I'm still talking about the plum and the vetiver. So the plum note really gives it a pretty good longevity. The vetiver is there, kind of giving it a really solid base, and the citrus is just there, kind of giving it more of an aromatic vibe. So that's it for me. I'm very, very, very excited about this fragrance, and I want to give a super, super shout out to my man Seanscoop, showing me some Texas love. Sending me out all that stuff, man. It is just beautiful. I'm also going to do a review on Boys 1920, and I'm also going to do a review on Rose Ananami, and I just want to figure out what the real name of it is. If somebody can, just let me know. Do the break it out for me on how it should be pronounced. So really appreciate you guys again. I got to get up early in the morning, so shout out to all my reviewers out there. Keep up the good work, everybody. I'm still very, very excited about what everybody's doing. I will get some time to catch up. Man, I got one more exam left. Really, all I got to do is get like 7 questions right out of 30, and I graduate. So I'm excited about that, and it's coming around pretty fast. So I'm off on business. I'm actually up in Michigan, doing up in the Grand Rapids area for business. So anyway. Hopefully I'll be able to respond. If not, I'll respond to you guys when I get back to Texas. Peace.